Cold case haunts dozens of families in Omaha. Their loved one murdered, yet the killer walks the streets.
With each day that passes, the chance of solving the case appears to diminish. Tonight in our special report, Unsolved, Lives in Limbo, reporter Josh Egbert looks at the new push to beef up the unit.
They are an all too familiar scene around the metro. The flashing lights of patrol cars investigating another shooting. Another shooting that has taken a life and left dozens of families wondering who did this.
Tell me 1 week went by that I didn't cry.
Right.
Every time I hear that someone has lost a son, I cry.
In 2005, Bessie Chillis' son Dante was shot and killed inside this bar. His brother Jeffrey critically injured.
You kill someone, you leave the family to suffer. They're going to rest.
Tara Coleman lost her brother Danny Harris a few months later. In 2011, Richard Parks buried 2 sons. Devon was killed in August. Robert just 4 months later.
This is ridiculous that we're out here this long without any answers, without any closure.
That closure eludes Priscilla Shelby, too. Her son Levi Brown was shot and killed inside his own home. It's pain Buffy Bush knows all too well.
I have 2 nephews that are growing up right now knowing that the people who murdered their mother are still walking the streets.
Bush's sister, Jamelia Hesseltine, was shot and killed inside her apartment, along with her boyfriend, Carl Reed.
When people allow the murderers to walk free, our whole community is crippled because the people that know, they live in fear.
Fear that only goes away when someone is brought to justice. Not easy on a cold case. Until now.
It's a fresh set of eyes to look at a case.
A grant from the National Institute of Justice will pay for expert help. 2 retired homicide detectives will spend the next 2 years reviewing unsolved murders in Omaha.
Being able to sit and review that case file and look and see if there's any DNA evidence that is there, is there any ballistic evidence.
Sergeant Teresa Negron with OPD's homicide unit says some cold cases can be solved with good old-fashioned detective work. Others require personal courage.
Is there somebody that maybe is willing to now that wasn't willing to speak previous?
There are currently some 260 cold cases in the Omaha Police Department dating back to the 1960s. The possibility of solving them brings some comfort to the victims' families.
Just to be able to just give us the hope that they're going to do something, that they're picking it back up and that it's not going to stay a cold case.
It's been 10 years. That's too long. Yeah. No, you can't bring him back. I don't want you to. But at least do some justice.
In Omaha, Josh Egbert, KMTV Action 3 News.
There have not been any leads in the cold cases that Josh profiled. Those families are still waiting for answers.
A teacher